When Arnold Schwarzenegger went on The View recently, y'all, I know for a fact that them old cackling, ratcheting hens, they were not ready. Y'all, they expected Arnold, this masculine male, to bow the knee to give them a scripted Hollywood moment. But what they got was a border-loving, law-respecting, truth-dropping immigrant who didn't stick to the Democratic playbook. And honey, listen, they couldn't hide the cringe and they almost exploded. Let's talk about it. You guys, welcome to Unshakable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. I am your host, April Chapman, and welcome to the show. Today, you guys, I need my pen. I want to talk about something that I am going to call a textbook case study into how propaganda just gets pulverized and truth came wrapped up in a retired bodybuilder who obviously, Arnold did not get the memo. Take a look at this clip.
Yeah. But you were governor already.
I was.
You can't do it again.
I was. I'm not governor anymore.
But you are. But you know, as an immigrant yourself, you are an immigrant. You're an immigrant in this country. Yeah. Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing, when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, you said that the immigrant. I'm so proud and happy that I was embraced by the American people like that. I mean, imagine I came over here with the age of 21, with absolutely nothing. And then to create a career like that. I mean, in no other country in the world could you do that. Yeah. Every single thing, if it's my bodybuilding career, if it's my acting career, becoming governor, the beautiful family that I've created, all of this is because of America.
That's true.
And so this is why I'm so happy to see firsthand that this is the greatest country in the world, and this is the land of opportunity.
Okay, so listen, y'all, here, Arnold is speaking so favorably about this country, and he talks about how great this country is. And here, I wanted to play this clip first, not because there's this huge mic drop moment in it. It's really not. But I think it was important. I wanted to lay the foundation for what is going to happen next. Now, Arnold is an immigrant. Y'all, he came here with nothing and managed to figure it out, and he killed the game. And I will never take that away from him. I have disagreed with him on a lot of things. I am sure we do not mirror one another's worldview, but here, let's be fair, The View, it didn't go too far left. They allowed him to have his nostalgic moment, but then the more that he speaks, you're going to see that what he says next was not on their bingo card. Take a listen.
And I think because I'm such a proud American and a proud immigrant that came to America, I was asked to do, on July 4th, a big speech, the keynote speech at Mount Vernon, where George Washington was laid to rest, and where he lived and all that, to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, the existence of America. And I will be doing the speech there. They asked me because I'm an immigrant, and there will be 7,000 some people there, and there will be people that will be sworn in and will become citizens that day.
That's great.
So it's really a great celebration. And this is what this is all about, is to celebrate people becoming Americans and coming to America and all that. And so I just think the world of the great kind of a history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal. And those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest. And you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house, and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can to keep things clean and to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back. You have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community for no money whatsoever. Give something back to after-school programs, Special Olympics, or whatever it is. Make this country a better place.
Did y'all see the hand? Did y'all see the hand? These women are so out of control that the moment he decided to have an independent thought and to affirm observable and objective reality, there goes Sonny with the hand. Like, well, hold on, little red Corvette. That you got to slow down. That ain't what you're supposed to be saying. Y'all, your favorite cackling coven over at The View, y'all, they just got verbally body slammed by none other than the Terminator himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And why? I'm telling you, he dared to say, this man dared to say what Democrats pretend not to understand, which is that illegal immigration is illegal, right? He's like, you got to come the right way with some respect. And what he doesn't really flesh this out and explain it, but it is absolutely destroying this nation. Arnold's unexpected truth bomb here. We have to give Arnold some credit here. When you get invited to The View, the expectation is clear. Show up, sip on the little fake latte, smile, stick to the script. That is your job. That's why we invited you, because we already know that you're going to affirm what we told you to affirm. That's why they're called the propaganda machine. You can't have an independent thought. You cannot deviate from the prevailing narrative. That is a no-no. But Arnold didn't do that. And what we saw him do was just phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. Did you hear what he said? He said, and I quote, if you're invited into someone's house, you respect the house, right? Like, you don't break the rules. And as soon as he said that, I said, uh-oh. I said, you done messed up now, Arnold. You done messed up now, big guy. The Terminator was about to get terminated. That is not the kind of language that the Democrat media machine likes to hear. They cannot have that, because in their twisted little fantasy land, violating U.S. borders is an act of virtue. That's not lawlessness. No siree, no sir, no ma'am. Did you see how Sonny got triggered? That orangutan's misery meter was registering off the charts and she was tweaking. It was team too much for her, so much so that she tried to physically restrain him with the feminist hand. Did you see it? In effort to remind him that it's not what you're supposed to say. Hey, Arnold, I don't know who invited you and what show you thought you was on, but you don't supposed to say that. Y'all, you could literally feel the temperature drop. Joy Behar's face, it tensed up like someone told her Kamala's approval rating, right? Like Sonny tried to pivot the conversation literally and physically, because how dare an immigrant speak with such common sense? Y'all, these people want compliant tokens. They cannot tolerate an independent thinker. You see what Arnold did? Arnold did the unthinkable. He affirmed the sovereignty of the United States, and he praised and he celebrated the United States for what it is. It is a land of opportunity that is to be cherished and respected. You don't get to come here and put on your little muddy feet on the sofa like Rick James, talking all crazy, and then think that we're going to extend the right hand of fellowship to you. Are you crazy? Heck to the no. Arnold in this clip, he reminded everyone that borders exist for a reason. And if you are a guest, guests don't get to kick in the front door and demand free benefits. That is not what's going to happen, because you can't go anywhere else and do that and get away with it. So for you to think you could come here and do that and get away with it is not going to happen either. But let's cut through the noise, right? Why don't Democrats, why don't they want immigration reform, right? An aspect of the clip that I did not show, and you can watch this whole clip over on YouTube, but he starts off the clip talking about why we need immigration reform and that we need some sort of sustainable system. But I'm telling y'all, Democrats don't want immigration reform. And the reason why they sabotage every attempt at real immigration reform is very simple. It's because they don't want it. They don't want it. And there are very specific reasons why. Illegal immigration, for the Democrat, it is the gateway drug to Democrat dominance. It's how they get their power. They flood the country with more dependents, weaponize welfare, and then buy loyalty through handouts. Look what the Democrats have already done with the Black community, right? They've created an entire voting bloc of weak-minded dependents who are still looking to them to fix all of their problems in exchange for their vote. Now, I'm not saying all Black people think like this. I don't think like this. Many of my friends don't think like this. Most Black conservatives do not fit into this category, but we are a small minority. Your average Democrat voter is literally always looking to not just Democrats, but to politicians in general to fix their problems versus get out of their way so that you can function in your freedom. When I'm always hearing Black Democrats who know that it's stupid and illogical in 2025 to still be Black and be a Democrat, their rebuttal is always, well, what are the Republicans going to do for Black people? And I'd be like, see, that's your problem right there. Say it again. Say it out loud and keep repeating it to yourself. What are Republicans going to do for Black people? That is the problem. We don't need them to do anything for us. The job of the government is supposed to be very small and limited. They are to get out of our way. Do not put imaginary roadblocks and barriers to progress. So that means keep your paws off my guns, right? I keeps Jesus in my heart and my 9 on my hip. Those are things that are important to me. Mind your business. Stay out of that. Keep your hands and your ideology off my children. I am their parent. I have a mandate from the God of the universe to raise my own children in the fear and admonition of the Lord, and I don't want you involved in those decisions because that is not your jurisdiction, and you are overstepping your boundaries when you do that. One of the things that I would love for all Americans, because I see this happening with white liberals too, and it's because Marxism and socialism and communism is an anti-God paradigm. What it does is it replaces our dependency and worship of God. It replaces it with government. So therefore, feminist-minded females, they look at the government like, well, I can't have children because they're not providing my health care for the child and my child care for the child. And the government has to give me all these things. Why aren't you buying my stroller? You have the wrong view of government. And this has been the problem in the Black community. We've had the wrong view of government for so long that we actually believe that it's the government's job to fix and solve problems, that the first line of defense is supposed to be the family, and then couple that with your own personal responsibility. And then we have the Constitution that regulates and puts boundaries where boundaries are necessary. And then outside of that, do what the heck you want to do because it's America. But Democrats, they are dependent minded. They want people, or should I say their constituents, to believe that it is their job to fix and be the answer to all of their problems. And so therefore, look at the results. Because of the Black community's unholy alliance and dependence on the Democrat Party, the Black community is at the bottom of everything that can be measured. We still haven't figured out how to function in our freedom. So what the Democrats are doing with the illegals, they're just opening up that border, letting all of those millions of people come over here. And it's not because they're compassionate. Democrats ain't never been compassionate. It's a calculated plan to turn America into a one-party socialist nightmare. I have told you, a Democrat heaven is an American hell. They don't want you to assimilate. They want these people to submit. They want illegals to serve as their new voter base, their new slave class, and their permanent power play. This has nothing to do with human rights. It is about Democrat control, and it's plain and simple. It's just plain and simple at this point. The Democrat Party, they are, and you can quote me on this one, the evilest institution on the face of the planet. Yes, I said it. Their wickedness, it has been documented for well over 200 years, and they are getting worse with each passing day. Between all of their freak, nasty sexual perversions to their oppressive, tyrannical leadership, where they are in charge, the people mourn. That's just the fact. Now, let me add this for my biblical Bible believing audience here. Scripture doesn't support lawlessness. So what you can't do is say, as a deeply held conviction, that you love God and you love his word and you're submitted to the lordship of Jesus, yet you support all of this wide open immigration and these open borders. No, Romans 13 makes it clear. Governments are one ordained by God, and their job is to punish evil and to uphold order. Open borders is chaotic. We should be able to chew bubblegum and walk. Two things can be true at the same time. We can welcome the foreigner, but welcoming the foreigner doesn't mean enabling criminality. The Old Testament, absolutely yes, it commanded the fair treatment of sojourners within the laws of Israel, not in rebellion against them. And immigration with integrity is a biblical concept. Anarchy is not. So for those of us who uphold a biblical standard of Christian values, that is our position. Immigration with integrity is biblical. I love immigrants. You know why? Because those are some of the hardest working people you will ever meet. And the way they view America is vastly different than individuals who were born here, who, yes, squander the opportunity and the privilege to having been born here. You're ungrateful. That's just a fact. However, I want to give a shout out to Arnold for, listen, he stood 10 toes down. And I have not always agreed with Arnold on a lot of things. But as time reveals itself, the left is so far left that even someone like a Arnold Schwarzenegger sounds conservative, or should I at least say, sounds like a person that still has some common sense, right? But to the ladies on The View, those cackling hens, the harem of hyenas, the orangutans of daytime TV. Maybe instead of interrupting every truth bomb with their little virtue signaling screeches, maybe they should listen to learn something from a man for a change. Because, can't nobody tell them nothing. And orangutan, because they are female imbeciles who can't manage their misery, this is why they show out. So what you saw there was Sonny was about to show out, and the rest of them, they was tweaking too and wanted to show out. But they didn't necessarily show out, but you could see that they were incredibly uncomfortable with what he said. And the reality of the matter is that this nation is under siege, not by tanks, but by wicked policies. We are under ideological warfare, and not one single shot has been fired. There are no soldiers. There are no tanks. Well, maybe in California, since Governor Newsom, he couldn't keep his West Coast miscreants under control during this peaceful, the peaceful protest. But that only happened because they attacked federal property. So Trump was right to send in the Marines and the National Guard. But anywho, we are under siege by spineless politicians who want to just erase America, and they want to do it from the inside out. So you want to protect this nation? Yes. Okay, fine. Then secure the border, keep it secure, and stop incentivizing illegal entry. And tell your Democrat friends this is not your little socialist sandbox. And if that's how you want to live, you can go and move to China or North Korea or Cuba. But since you ain't gonna do that, we need you to be quiet. But I am curious to know, what do you guys think? Do you think Arnold was right? Or, do you feel that he just went too far for the View's fragile fan club and should never be invited back again? I don't know, but listen, if you're tired of the lies and you are ready to stand unshakable, I need you to do something for me. I need you to like, share, subscribe, drop me a comment below. I am interested to know what you think. But until next time, you guys, stay grounded, stay bold, and above all else, stay unshakable. Grace and